What's going on, everyone? So I have an awesome surprise to show you guys. My buddy Chris here.
What's up, everybody?
He has this awesome theme that's been going on for him on Instagram that he's been doing for like, I don't know, what, 10 years now?
About that.
Check it out. I'll leave his link to his Instagram in the description. Now we're gonna be heading out to this place called The Flats and to take some awesome stuff. And Chris is gonna explain on how he does what he does on Instagram. So let's go. So we're down here at the Flats and I figured, you know what, since I haven't really had any other photographers on the channel, I figured I'd, you know, get Chris on it because he's been killing it on the Instagram game and just love how creative he gets with his images. So I called him up, I'm like, hey Chris, you want to get on the vlog and we can talk about how you get creative with your images? And he's like, let's do it. So Chris, how long have you been doing this?
Since 2010, so about 9 years.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long haul then.
Oh yeah.
So like what has like really inspired you to like convey this style?
I mean, I've always been into horror, like horror movies, just dark art since I was a kid. So, and I've always really been into like supernatural things, ghosts, the afterlife, everything like that. And one day I was at a thrift store and I just bought a bunch of sheets and a bunch of random stuff and I went out into the woods and I just started putting sheets over my head. And one thing led to another and I just started making all these ghost photos. And here I am 9 years, 10 years later, still doing it.
So Chris, when you're creating an image, like what like goes through your head when you're coming up with ideas?
Well, I mean, I have like a million things go through my head a day, but sometimes I'll think of one thing and it just sticks and I fixate on it and then I have to go out and I have to shoot it, or I'll have like a crazy dream and I'll see something in my dream and I'll have to go out and make it like that next day. So yeah, every day it's something different going on up in here. I don't know how to explain it other than that.
If somebody were to come up to you and ask you for any type of advice or tips on how they can get this type of aesthetic for their photos, what would you tell them?
Constantly experiment. Constantly go out, try something different. Like I will just go out and I'll just bring a bunch of stuff with me, as you can see, and we'll just go through a bunch of different poses, a bunch of different scenes, a bunch of different things, and just don't be afraid to experiment. That's number one. Don't be afraid to be yourself and don't be afraid to get weird. That's the number one rule. Always do what you want.
So just be yourself.
Exactly.
And just do what you love. And probably the number one tip that I can give anybody from my experience since I've started doing photography, and he'd probably agree with me, is just keep on shooting and just keep on doing what you love, and just don't stop doing it because you're just going to constantly progress. What's so amazing about Chris's props is that every single prop that he has ever had in his photos are all from either a thrift store, discount store, and that is just pure creativity. So this is a perfect example for anybody who's watching that you can literally create anything as long as you put your mind to it. So everything is finally alive once again. I mean, within a week, everything went from straight dead to alive, and it's pretty awesome. So glad that winter is no longer here. Summer's finally here, except we're constantly getting rain. I mean, look at this storm it's coming our way. Going down this hidden path. Into the woods we go. Everything is so green. This is awesome. Really hoping that this storm doesn't come. At least not right now, because this place is awesome. Check out this area. Like, I am loving this area. So this is the place that we're going to be taking the photos, and what's crazy is it's literally 5 minutes from my house, and what's even more crazy is I had no idea that this guy lived like 3 blocks away. It's insane. So how do you take the shots like without like a remote?
I use the timer on the camera. I focus, and then I get my spot, focus, and then put the timer on and just run back and forth. Do me a favor and just walk out there for me so I can get my focal. Wait a little bit. Come forward. Perfect.
Should I do some crazy poses? Usually I'm the one that's behind the camera.
I didn't even notice all those tires.
Don't dump, folks. It ruins awesome places like this. Get a little bit of a workout there.
Oh yeah. It's all part of the process.
I think that's why he's so skinny. So glad winter's over and the warmth is finally here because winter is taking a toll on me. Nothing too bad though. But we're actually going to be packing up and then we're gonna head back to the car because it's actually starting to rain. So we are on our way back to the car. We're trying to run from the storm and I had a blast.
What'd you think of your first vlog?
Liked it. It was fun. Gonna do it again.
So you're gonna do it again?
We're gonna do it again.
Oh, so I guess you'll be seeing Chris here a lot more. Definitely go check out his Instagram. His link to his Instagram will be in the description. Go give him some love. Trust me, you don't want to like surpass this. Hey, check this out. For once, my shoes are not muddy or wet. So, we're finally out of the woods. Chris got his photos, and now let's hop into Photoshop and he'll show you how it's done. So we're back here at Chris's house. I figured I would have him explain his entire editing process through what he does through Photoshop. So, since we were doing the video on his style with what he does to create his images on Instagram, this is how he creates his images in Photoshop.
Alright everybody, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these 2 photos and turn it into this photo right here. So what you want to make sure you're doing when you're out shooting is to keep your tripod in the same spot the whole time. So we're going to have the subject photo and the background photo. We're going to drag the subject photo over to the background. Then we're going to select both the layers and hit edit, auto align layers, hit OK. And what this is going to do is line your photos up perfectly, just like that. And then you're going to take your subject photo, add a layer mask to it, take your brush, and just get rid of the part of the subject you don't want in it anymore. And for straight lines like this, you could use the select tool. Get your brush again. And just like that, the legs are gone. Now if your background brightness isn't as bright as your subject photo, you could just take your levels and just match them up like that. Now we're going to crop the photo I like to use a square crop. Make sure the subject is centered. Just like that. Then you're going to hit Shift Control Command E. Like that. And that's going to bring all your layers up into one layer and not get rid of your original layers and keep everything like it was. And then what I have is a plugin called Alien Skin Exposure. And I have a bunch of presets I've made in there over the years. And we're going to use the preset called KOD that I have. It's right there. And it just color corrects it to the way I like. Oh, just like that. Then we're going to create some fog in the foreground. So to do that, you're going to create a new layer. Go to Filter, Render, Clouds. You're going to select only the white part of the clouds. To do that, you hold Command and click on the RGB in the channels. Then you're going to hit Shift Command I, which inverts your selection. And then again, we're going to feather, select, modify, feather. Hit delete. And to make it look a little bit more like fog, we're going to go to blur, Gaussian blur. Bring it to about 100. And then we're going to put a mask on that. And then we're going to do a gradient mask. So you select your gradient tool. Select where you want up to. And bring that down just like that to where you want it. And we're going to bring the opacity down. Just like that. And then again, we're going to select Shift Alt Command E. Bring your layers all up to one. Bring up the levels. And we're going to darken that a little bit. Just like that. Hit OK. And then we went from that to that. And just like that, we created a ghost photo.
Would you look at that? The storm is gone, and it's sunny out. Good old PA weather. It never gets old. But anyways, if you like this video, smash that like button, hit up that comment section below, follow Chris on Instagram.
Follow Mikey on Instagram.
Not to mention, we have a new member on the channel, so you'll be seeing Chris a hell of a lot more. And also, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next vlog.